how can we go to $1 billion a month in the next 48 to 60 months with Sizzle? How do we do it? How do we create the word Joey Boswell calls the Big Mo? The Big Mo means big momentum, Tom. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, I'll tell you what, the Big Mo, I hadn't heard of that before, but it's catchy. It has to do with if you're going to go out to get something, you better be ready to go get it. And if you're going to go into momentum, there's a number of companies that go into it, and it absolutely destroys them because they're not ready for momentum. Big Mo is too big for them. Now, there used to be, I remember when I was a kid, there was a movie, The Mighty Joe Young, you know, a big gorilla that ran around that was giant, that could do and crush things, and it was unstoppable. But if you take a look at Big Mo, if you will, in this thing, what does it take to get there? Well, it takes, really momentum is the perception of an opportunity. That's what creates momentum. So you need to get people so that they perceive the opportunity. Momentum is an intangible thing to a lot of people, and they think, well, what are we going to do this, to that, the other? But when it comes down, it's not necessarily product or compensation plan, but it's the combination of those things so that people can perceive that there's an opportunity. So that's really the definition of Big Mo, is the perception of an opportunity. So if you want to create momentum in your organization, then you need to get people so they perceive that there's a real opportunity here. Not just a business, but a real opportunity, and that creates the momentum. Now, there's companies that have had it. The fastest growing company in the history of network marketing was the Cambridge Diet. And they went to, I believe it was like $2 billion a year within just a couple of years. And this was 45 years ago or so that they did that. So when you conceive that in today's dollars, what is that? What is $2 billion in today? Is that $6 or $7 or $8 billion in a couple of years? Yeah, it was. But they weren't ready for prime time. They were selling a product, a new concept that was there. The money and the program that they had was revolutionary, but all of it come together, and it shocked people with what could be done. It was in the area of weight loss, and so people had the perception of an opportunity. It grew so big that the people that were doing the computer programming, they happened to be friends of mine, they told me that they had huge rooms that were just full with tables with paperwork all over for applications and orders that were sitting there. Just the whole room full of stacked high with papers and applications they were trying to get through. They weren't ready for prime time for it. They had blocks they had people standing outside their office to pick up product, and the lines went down blocks and blocks, people lined up to get the product. They couldn't supply the product. They couldn't get the orders in. They couldn't get the distributor apps in. They couldn't link up the downlines, and they self-destructed over a period with some other things that came along too. Now, here we are. We're just the opposite. We started out gigantic from the beginning so that when we hit momentum, we would be ready for it, and that's exactly what's happened. We have a massive computer system that's in here, integrated with manufacturing, everything else. We have a global seamless compensation plan. Goes all over the world. Get paid out in your own currency, no matter where your downlines go. We have a compensation plan that pays out 2, 3, 4 times what other companies are paying out. And it's easier to qualify, and it's more fair, and it's designed to make the small distributors successful, not to make like these binaries that they flash big checks, but it's based upon money falling through the cracks to the company and to the big leaders. All of the things are right, but that is foundational. Now we need to create the perception of an opportunity, and we've got it. We've been into momentum for about a year and a half, and momentum is when you're getting double-digit growth every single month. In other words, 10% or more growth every single month. We've been doing that here in the United States, and now we're starting to do it in some other markets. We're about to go into Big Mo, as Joey says, because now we have got the perception of an opportunity, and it's big. And we start by hammering in the first nail, and that is we're coming out of this thing. We've got the products. We've got everything. But now we're going to have an everyday payday for Fast Start bonuses. That's whopping. Now you go out and if you sold $1,000 worth of product and say it was a 30% Fast Start bonus, that's $300. Sell it today, be paid tomorrow. If it happened to be in the coffee where it's 45%, $450. Sell it today, $450 today. How'd you like to make $300 or $400 every single day just by selling something? Now that is exciting, and that can create momentum. So what do you have to sell that's so exciting? Well, the coffee. It's the world's best tasting coffee, and it is truly, in my opinion, the only health coffee in the world, because other coffees create these acrylamides that cause cancer, and they overcook them, and they create all these tannins, and they destroy the antioxidants. Momentum again. Here is the health coffee. It was Chaga, 100 times more powerful than Ganoderma, according to the experts in the field, not just us. See? So anyway, there's the product right there. Now we're coming out with this everyday payout. On top of that, now we're going to have big bonuses when you hit certain ranks, and you'll get a big check for hitting certain levels of leadership. Boy, that's going to be a perception opportunity. How would you like to make enough money to pay off all your credit cards or to buy a nice car or that type of thing? And that's the type of thing we're putting together. So to come together for that synergy to create that momentum. Now the products we're going to come out. Which weight loss product's the best? There's probably about 5 that really have got significance out there. So which one do you choose? How about all 5 in one? The thermonuclear fat buster of all times for a weight loss product. That's going to be coming out here within the month. This is the big mo of them all for weight loss, because 5 big systems in one. We've already got them in the coffee, the weight loss coffee. Now we're going to have them in a capsule in the coffee program too for it. And then how about the big mo in skincare? Here is the product of all products. I had the president of the American Society of Cosmetic Chemists here, and the leading authority in it from Europe, from Paris, last week, and we worked on this thing, and they said themselves, there's never been a product like this ever created before on Earth. This is the breakthrough of all times. And the head of the American Society of Cosmetic Chemists, he told me, Guy is his name, we've been friends for a long time, he says, Tom, there is nobody like you doing this. No one has ever done this. If I was going to make the product of all products, this is the one that I would build. And we're buying some products from companies he represents too, but from others, because we're putting them all in. And we're going to take skin foundationally from the very skeletal frame of which it sits on, to the muscles, to the different layers of the skin, and we're going to take your skin, and we are going to make it look, seem, appear, feel, all the things you can say that you have to say for cosmetics. You have to make cosmetic statements. But in 2 weeks, if you don't think it doesn't look 5 years younger, get your money back. Go a month. If you don't think it looks 8 years younger, get your money back. You'll never be able to buy it again, of course, because we don't want abuse on people who buy it and use it and get money back and do it again. So we'll have to take steps there. But who's going to want to do that if they're turning their skin back in time so it looks that much younger, that much faster? What do you see? What it does for wrinkles and crow's feet and all of that? We're going to have a seminar that's going to come on here in just a number of days. We're going to plan it now. And this webinar, you want to be on it with your computer, you can listen to it if you want, but we're going to show you studies and things like that will absolutely make you weak. Now, if you just want to rub it in and see the difference, that's the benefits of this. But we're going to have one that's going to show you the science. And when you see the real sciences behind this, it is a big mo in skincare. And what we're going to do to make it exciting to market to will put us into mega momentum. So I'm kind of vacillating and wandering around with this, but I will tell you what, folks, we are ready to go into mega momentum, and it's going to start right now. So it's time to get your rear in gear, get people going, and get ready for this webinar that we're going to do. We already had the big one on the compensation. Now they're going to have and people in this business to make money. Now those big sessions are going to happen to show people how to make money and what they're doing every single day. And then we're going to super nuke it with these fantastic products on top of the already fantastic products that we have. And guess what, folks? Watch this liftoff. We are rumbling. We're coming off the pad right now, and we're going into orbit and we're going into outer space because we're ready for Big Mo.